HOA Karen toppled my sister's pushcart, got sued and paid $85,000. The market was alive with the hum of voices, the clink of coins, and the sweet tang of ripe mangoes in the air. I stood behind my sister Lynn's pushcart, watching her arrange her handmade bracelets with the care of a mother tucking in a child. Then, like a storm cloud bursting, Karen strutted in sunglasses perched on her nose, voice sharp enough to cut glass, demanding everyone's attention. Lynn's pushcart was her pride, her lifeline. For 2 years, she'd poured her soul into crafting jewelry and selling fruit to keep our family afloat after our parents' shop went under. Every bead, every polished stone was a piece of her heart. I helped on weekends, hauling crates and charming customers, but Lynn was the magic behind it. That Saturday, the market buzzed with its usual chaos, vendors shouting, kids darting through the crowd, the air thick with grilled meat and hope. We were setting up for the lunch rush when Karen, a regular known for her complaints, stormed up to the cart. "You're blocking my view," she snapped, gesturing at nothing but open air. Her voice was a whip, cracking through the market's rhythm. Lynn, ever patient, smiled and offered to shift the cart a few inches, but Karen wasn't having it. "This is my spot to take photos for my blog," she said, as if the market belonged to her. I bit my tongue, knowing Lynn's rule: never argue with a customer, no matter how ridiculous. The tension simmered as Karen's complaints grew louder, drawing curious glances. She huffed about the cart's cheap look, the messy fruit display, even Lynn's quiet demeanor, calling it rude. I could see Lynn's hands tremble as she rearranged apples, trying to appease her. I wanted to step in, but Lynn shot me a look. "Stay out of it." Karen, though, wasn't done. She leaned in, her voice dripping with venom. "You immigrants think you can just set up anywhere, don't you?" The words hit like a slap. Lynn froze, her brown eyes wide with shock. The crowd around us went quiet, the air heavy with secondhand embarrassment. I couldn't stay silent anymore. "Ma'am, that's uncalled for," I said, stepping forward. Karen's head snapped toward me, her sunglasses sliding down her nose. "Mind your business." "Kid," she barked. But I wasn't a kid, I was 22. And this was my sister's dream she was trampling. The argument escalated, Karen's voice climbing, accusing us of stealing space and ruining the aesthetic. Lynn tried to calm things, offering a free bracelet, but Karen swatted the gesture away, knocking a tray of mangoes to the ground. That's when it happened. With a sneer, Karen shoved the cart. It wobbled, then crashed, spilling fruit, beads, and Lynn's meticulously crafted jewelry into the dirt. The crowd gasped. Lynn dropped to her knees, salvaging what she could, her face pale. Karen stood there, unapologetic, muttering about teaching a lesson. My blood boiled, but before I could lunge, a new voice cut through. Enough, it was Mr. Tran, the grizzled noodle vendor from 2 stalls down. He'd been watching, his apron stained with broth, his eyes sharp with indignation. Nobody expected him to step in. He was known for keeping to himself, grumbling about prices but never drama. Yet here he was, phone in hand, recording the whole scene. "I got it all," he said, holding up the device. "You're not walking away from this." Karen's smirk faltered. The crowd murmured, some pulling out their own phones. Lynn, still on the ground, clutched a broken necklace, tears streaking her face. I knelt beside her, picking up shattered beads, my hands shaking with rage. Mr. Tran's intervention was a twist none of us saw coming, a quiet man turning the tide. He'd captured Karen's rant, the shove, the crash, everything. The video was already spreading as whispers turned to outrage among the vendors. Karen tried to backtrack, claiming it was an accident, but the crowd wasn't buying it. "You pushed it," a fruit seller yelled. "I saw her," another vendor chimed in. Karen's face reddened, her confidence cracking like thin ice. She muttered something about misunderstandings and tried to leave, but Mr. Tran blocked her path. his phone still rolling. "You're not going anywhere until you own this," he said, his voice steady but fierce. The market manager, Ms. Delgado, arrived, drawn by the commotion. She was a no-nonsense woman who'd run the market for a decade, known for her fairness. After hearing from Lynn, me, and the witnesses, she turned to Karen. "You've caused damage and distress," she said. "This isn't just about a cart, it's someone's livelihood." Karen scoffed, tossing her hair, but the crowd's glares pinned her in place. Miss Delgado took Lynn's side, promising to file a report and ban Karen from the market. That night, Lynn and I sat in our cramped apartment, sorting through the wreckage. Half the fruit was bruised beyond selling, and dozens of bracelets were ruined. Lynn's savings, already thin, couldn't cover the loss. I felt helpless, watching her stare at a cracked pendant she'd made for our mom. "I should have moved the cart," she whispered. I shook my head. "This isn't on you. It's on her." The next morning, Mr. Tran's video went viral on X, posted by a local activist group. It racked up thousands of shares, with hashtags like "You're under justice for Lynn" and "Karen Chaos" trending. The comments were brutal. "Who does she think she is?" That cart was her life. People shared stories of similar run-ins with entitled customers, turning Lynn's story into a rallying cry. Karen's name, revealed through her own blog linked in the video, became a lightning rod. Her social media was flooded with criticism, her carefully curated image crumbling. But it wasn't just online outrage. Lynn, with Mr. Tran's encouragement, contacted a lawyer. The video, witness statements, and receipts for the damaged goods built a strong case. Karen had underestimated the market's tight-knit community, where vendors looked out for each other. The lawsuit accused her of property damage, emotional distress, and lost income. Lynn didn't want to sue, she hated conflict, but the loss was too great, and Mr. Tran's video was undeniable proof. Weeks later, the courtroom was packed. Karen, dressed in a crisp blazer, tried to play the victim, claiming Lynn's cart was in her way and the push was accidental. Her lawyer painted her as a misunderstood influencer, but the judge wasn't swayed. Lynn took the stand, her voice steady as she described the cart's importance, how it funded her night classes, supported our family, and carried her dreams. I saw jurors' eyes soften, one wiping away a tear. Mr. Tran's video played on a screen, Karen's sneer filling the room, her words about immigrants echoing. The crowd outside, vendors, customers, even strangers who'd seen the video cheered when Lynn spoke. Then came the twist that Karen's own blog posts were used against her. Her lawyer had missed it, but Lynn's attorney dug up years of Karen's online rants, complaints about messy markets, low-class vendors, and even a post mocking Pushcart people. The evidence painted her as a repeat offender, someone who saw small businesses as beneath her. The courtroom buzzed as the posts were read aloud, Karen's face paling with each word. Her arrogance, once her shield, became her downfall. The judge's ruling was swift. Karen was to pay $80,000, $50,000 for damages and lost income, $30,000 for emotional distress. The courtroom erupted in applause. Lynn gasped, gripping my hand. Karen's jaw dropped, her sunglasses finally off, revealing eyes wide with shock. She tried to argue, but the judge cut her off. "You acted with malice," he said. "This is the consequence." Outside, the market community greeted Lynn like a hero. Mr. Tran, usually stoic, hugged her, his phone now a symbol of justice. The money would rebuild Lynn's cart, restock her supplies, and even fund a small storefront she'd dreamed of. But more than that, it restored her faith. Karen, meanwhile, faced more than a fine. Her blog's sponsors dropped her, her followers dwindled, and her name became synonymous with entitlement. The market banned her for life, and whispers followed her wherever she went. Lynn's cart was back the next month, brighter than ever. Customers flocked, some just to shake her hand. I watched her smile again, stringing beads with steady hands. The ordeal had scarred her, but it also showed her strength and the power of a community that refused to let her fall. What do you think was justice served? Or should Karen have faced more? Share your thoughts below.